Alright, hopefully by now you guys have all gotten a chance to see my top 10 worst movies of 2016. That was a fun video to make. But now here I am to count down the top 10 best movies I saw in 2016. This was a hard list to make, to be honest. I saw 70 newly released movies in 2016. As I said before, here are all of them. And this movie had a lot of, like, okay movies, some solid ones for sure, but there weren't a ton of like great above average movies, which is like the 10 and 9 slot on this list especially. I just had trouble deciding what like good movies from the year I would put in those slots. As per usual, there are some good movies from this year that I missed, like I know Moonlight and Silence didn't play in my area, so let me know in the comment section down below which ones I missed that you guys thought were awesome, and be sure to let me know which movies you guys disagree with that shouldn't be on this list. So plenty of stuff to comment on. That being said though, here are the 10 movies I decided to go with for best of the year, starting off with number 10. Like I said, probably the weirdest slot to decide for, but at number 10 we have the movie that made me laugh the most this year, and that's Popstar Never Stop, Never Stopping. The surprise of the summer, if you ask me. I thought this movie was hilarious through and through. I watched a bunch of clips from it on YouTube right after I saw the movie. It made me laugh all the way through. Andy Samberg and the entire Lonely Island crew was just awesome in this movie. The celebrity cameos were great, and I laughed myself sick at the TMZ parody parts where you had Will Arnett, Mike Birbiglia, and a whole bunch of other guys just come in and parody TMZ. Laughed all the way through this one. Check it out if you haven't already. Moving on to number 9, another thing that says this is absolutely my subjective list, that's Blair Witch. A lot of people did not like this movie whatsoever. I thought it was really cool, very smart, something that adds to the original Blair Witch Project, and something that was just like really scary. We had a lot of really good horror movies in 2016. I thought this was one that made me think, but there's like imagery in there that was just very compelling, and something that for me personally, I connected with, somebody who lives in the woods, somebody who was just terrified to go home after I saw this movie. So at number 9, we got Blair Witch. Moving on to number 8, it's a movie that was originally much higher on the list, but as the year went on, you know, got bumped a little bit back. That's Captain America Civil War. One of Marvel's best movies to date. I loved seeing just the emotional drive from Steve Rogers and Tony Stark throughout the entire drive of this movie. Seeing the two go head to head, the airport sequence was incredible. Black Panther and Spider-Man are in good hands here at Marvel. Can't wait to see their standalone movies, and I can't wait to see how this influences the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe going forward. Moving on to number 7, another awesome summer action movie is The Nice Guys, a movie that did not nearly make enough money. Ryan Gosling and Russell Crowe had amazing chemistry as these two detectives in 1970s Los Angeles. I love seeing this kind of like a modern noir, because you don't see a lot of noirs nowadays. Seeing the mystery kind of unfold, seeing what's going on with Amelia throughout the entire movie, seeing just complete shootout gun violence done extremely well by Shane Black. I loved seeing such a visionary director like him working in the business nowadays with such great actors by his side. One of the highlights of the summer for me, if you ask me. The Nice Guys, for sure. Moving on to number 6, we have a movie I just checked out recently, which is Nocturnal Animals. This is one of those movies that I felt like had such an awesome script behind it. You have a story within a story where that story is being told, and then a flashback, and somehow all those tie together into one of the most compelling screenplays of the year. Jake Gyllenhaal proves why he's one of the best actors working in the business today. I felt like this just absolutely showed also that movies like this aren't made for everybody, but when they find their certain audience member, like me, they just land. Moving on, though, to number 5 is a movie that a lot of people probably forgot about, and that's 10 Cloverfield Lane. I'm not one of these guys who's like, you know, blockbusters are terrible, down with the blockbusters, but 10 Cloverfield Lane proves that smaller movies are better in some cases. This was a movie that was contained. It was a movie that was just tense all the way through. This is the type of movie that Alfred Hitchcock would be making if he was alive today. It's something that barely had any fantastical parts to it, but something that just felt so driven by great performances, by a fantastic script, and something that was just entertaining to me personally. I love these small and contained movies. This one was a perfect example of that, and I can't wait to see the next step in the Cloverfield universe. Moving on to number 4, and see, I grew up with these cousins who were kind of raised in the golden age of Disney, like Lion King, Beauty and the Beast, and they would always brag like, "Ha, we saw that in theaters." Well, I think I've got that movie now, and that's Zootopia. Zootopia is one of these movies that was about like racism, sexism, class divides, and it was all put in this cute little kids mystery movie. It was one of those things that was just so complex, so dense all the way through. I loved watching it. The humor was great. I loved Nick Wilde, voiced by Jason Bateman. That was one of the best voice casting efforts I've seen in the past 15 years, to be honest. Voice casting on point. The themes of this movie, so on point. The animation style, just so fantastic. The movie's on Netflix right now. I'm probably going to watch it again over my Christmas break. You guys definitely should too if you haven't seen it yet. Moving on to number 3, another movie I just saw recently is Patriots Day. I loved seeing that good always triumphs over evil. I love seeing the optimism leaving this movie. I love just feeling that emotion, feeling like I was about to cry throughout the entire thing because of how great these heroes in real life were. Compelling story. I was on the edge of my seat the entire time. Fantastic directing by Peter Berg. Great performances all around the bird from everybody. Mark Wahlberg, absolute standout. This movie should be nominated for Best Picture. It's one of the best movies I've seen in the past 5 years, and it's one of those movies that I'm just going to remember for a long time, especially being from Boston. At number 3 and 2, I was kind of flipping back and forth, but for today, here we go. At number 2, funny enough, we've got The Conjuring 2. This is one of those movies that just won the summer for me. I honestly went into this movie thinking, oh, it's probably going to be pretty good, and then it wound up being excellent. This was a movie about faith versus doubt. This was a movie about good versus evil, and this was a movie about believing in family and believing in trusting other people. The movie, I described to some people as 2.5 hour heart attack, because not only was because it was so scary, first of all, but also because it just felt like something that you weren't sure if you were going to ever ease up from. It takes a simple horror premise like, a haunting, and it just shows the craft and just the directing and the set design are so important. It's a movie that I loved rewatching once I got a chance to rewatch it. Absolutely deserves to be on everybody's, best of horror 2016 list. Made my number 2 of the year list. Only to be topped, obviously, by my number 1. And if you guys follow my reviews, I only gave 1 A+ in all of 2016. This is the movie that made me believe in love. It put a song in my heart, and it's a movie that makes me want to follow my dreams, move to Los Angeles, and do everything the characters of this movie did, and that is La La Land. This movie, it was so well acted. Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone, I love they didn't hire professional singers for this movie because those two just felt so genuine singing to each other. The dance numbers were so well executed. It was a movie that made you happy when you were watching it. It's a movie that just makes you believe in humanity, makes you believe in a life, makes you believe in goodness all around. And it's a movie about following your dreams. It's a movie about whether love and your dreams can, work together, whether or not they're mutually exclusive. It's a movie about conflict and compromise, and it's very, very exciting, as Ryan Gosling says in the movie. This is a movie I think is a lock to win Best Picture this year. It's a movie, again, that just makes me feel so happy. I got chills the second time that I saw it in theaters. I can't wait to see it a third, maybe fourth time in theaters. It's a movie you guys should absolutely run out and see this holiday season with your families. You'll be in tears by the end of it, I absolutely promise. And it's a movie that I think everybody, every human being alive right now should go out and see because it makes you realize following your dreams is important, and, we're all just fools who dream sometimes. But guys, those are just my top 10 best moves of 2016. There's some questionable picks in there, I'm sure. Be sure to let me know what your top 10 of the are in the comment section down below. You guys can also go over to mymoviethoughts.com if you want to check out some more posts from me. You guys can check out my reviews for all 10 of these movies and all 10 of my worst movies here on YouTube. And you guys can follow me on Twitter. I am at John M. Hayeck for a great 2017 ahead. You guys can find links to all 3 of those in the description down below. Be sure to like this video, comment on it, share it with some friends. I am John Hayeck, and as always, thank you guys so much for watching.